Head Count is a 2018 horror film. Now, I didn't know much about this one, but the concept was pretty cool, but then the execution was awful. It is about Evan. He is a young man going out to Joshua Tree to visit his older brother Peyton, who's like non-technology, likes to meditate in his RV, kind of just, out in the middle of nowhere. And when they're going out to hang out and look at the sights, they bump into another group of carefree young adults, and there's a lot of women there. There's like 4 couples and then 1 alone. So, he has some chemistry with Zoe, the only single one there. So, Peyton sees that his brother, is connecting. So he says, you know what, why don't you hang out with them for a night or two and, we can finish off our trip together. It's not a big deal. So Evan pairs off with Zoe, and they have lots of shots and alcohol and drugs, and they got mushrooms and weed and a hot tub. So everyone gets wasted and has a good time, and Evan's really enjoying himself. However, when they're at the campfire, he's supposed to read an urban legend from this site, and he talks about the Hizji. It's like this creepy creature that like shapeshifts and sort of infiltrates groups, and they think it's not a very good story. So the next morning, though, however, they find some weird carvings in the shed, and basically nothing happens in this movie till the last like 20 minutes. It's a really interesting concept. It's kind of like going for that low budget kind of feel, like Unfriended, where it's like really, really low budget and it's like an urban myth or like a haunting that picks off people. But this one basically has nothing happen in it, and you can't really have that. You need to have stuff happen. So like the whole shapeshifter sort of thing gets alluded to in multiple places, but they're also wasted or high that they don't realize it. But the creature starts wreaking havoc like in the last like 20 minutes only, and it's all done like really quickly. They don't really know how to, the story, the concept is great, but the execution is all over the place. Like you have the cast, you have the creature, you have everything you need, but you just doesn't want to do anything properly. And then the ending's really ambiguous too. A very underwhelming payoff for such a short film. So I appreciate that the movie had like decent actors performing, decent location, interesting concept, but it just didn't do anything right with the script. And you can't have a horror movie that just doesn't do anything. You actually have to like have thrills or scares. You can't just have people like pointing fingers at each other in the last 20 minutes. So Head Count, it was a really big disappointment for me. I gave it a 2 out of 10.